Hey, before I start my review, just wanted to say rest in peace to Aaron Carter. He followed me back in 2016, and then it was just reported that he was found dead in his home. Uh, yeah, I guess this is the first celebrity that I've had some type of interaction with that has passed away. It's crazy to hear, Rest in peace to him. But welcome, guys, to my review of WWE Crown Jewel 2022. I just got finished watching the show. The show actually did finish a few hours ago. The show did happen today. But I was asleep when it started. And you know what? I'm glad I was, because I need my sleep. Alright? I really desperately need my sleep. But I'm still going to review the show. And yeah, Crown Jewel, it was nothing too special, honestly. The last two matches were amazing. I love the last two matches. They really saved the show, if you ask me. But the show as a whole, not a bad show, but just very there's nothing really horrible on the show. Just I personally didn't care for them, But yeah. But I was very excited for the main event of the show, as well as the opening match of the show. The opening match didn't quite live up to what I hoped, but the main event certainly did. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into my review of Crown Jewel. Let me look at my notes. Sorry about that. Opening match, we have Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Yes, this is the proper match between these two without interference or nothing like that. Well, at least it was supposed to be. This match, Bobby Lashley just destroyed Brock in this match. It was so weird to see, before I get into that, Lashley spared the crap out of Brock on the outside of the ring, speared him through the barricade, really kicked his ass. I mean, Lesnar got some shots in. He got in a few German suplexes. He even got in an F5, but Lashley kicked out. Really, Lashley just hammered into his asshole. That was just crazy and awesome to see. And here's what I was talking about. Lashley had Brock in the Hurt Lock. And it was so weird to see Brock restrained like that. For real. He had him in there for a while. And they did this shit. And it pissed me off when they did this. I'm not talking about the ending, which I'm sure you all assume that's what I was talking about. But I'm actually not mad about the ending, but we'll get onto that a bit later. They did this shit. And it pissed me off because they haven't done this shit in forever. They did the thing with the three arms, not the three arms, but when a wrestler's in a submission hold, and then they haven't tapped out, but then the referee grabs his arm and drops it and does it 3 times to see, and if they dropped it after 3, then that match is over. They did that shit, and that pissed me off because they did it for freaking storyline conveniences. Because I mean, look at freaking Lashley versus McIntyre from WrestleMania last year. I mean, they did that just once. Glad they did it just that once. It's like they grab the arm, they do it once, and if they don't do it that one time, then it's over. They did the 3 times thing that they haven't done in years for the sake of freaking what they're trying to do with the story. It's really frustrating and extremely annoying when I can see through that. I'm sure a lot of people see through that stuff. But anyways, so Brock, he's still in the Hurt Lock. He's still in the match after 3 arm things, and then Lesnar puts his feet on the he does that thing when you put your feet on the corner, and then kind of thinged back, and he was on top of Lashley. Hurt Lock was still in. 1, 2, 3. So Brock defeats Lashley, but doesn't defeat him. He beats him, but he doesn't beat him. You know what I mean? I'm not upset about that ending, actually, because I'm pretty sure that that's going to lead to a match between these two. Another match between these two at WrestleMania 39, just 5 months from now. And, you know what? Have Lashley beat Brock. You better have Lashley beat Brock there. And because yeah, because who cares to see Brock win anything else at this point? I mean, it's still great to see him in wrestling and all that, but you know, so yeah. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure this will be a rematch at WrestleMania, and Lashley better win that shit. All right, I put it out there like a month before WrestleMania 37 when they announced Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, and I made a post on Facebook saying, Lashley better retain that shit, motherfucker. And then Lashley retained. So I'm putting it out there. Lashley better win against Brock at WrestleMania 39, motherfucker. Alright. But, yeah. And next match, I wasn't really paying too much attention to the next match. I already saw the result of the match before I actually watched it. So I was already happy about this match and satisfied regardless. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Asuka and Alexa Bliss defending against Damage Control, consisting of Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Very back and forth match. They even mentioned that on commentary. I was just ready for this match to end. Nikki Kross actually at the end came out, and I thought it was Bayley actually, but the commentator said it was Nikki Kross. Came out, distracted Bliss. Dakota Kai pins her. 1, 2, 3, and Dakota Kai and Io Sky, but really I'm happy that it is Dakota Kai being a champion again. Dakota Kai and Io Sky once again win the Women's Tag Team Championships. So ecstatic. I'm always super freaking annoyed when I see on Facebook or something that Dakota Kai lost the championship. So I was so happy. And it was Dakota who made the pin. Made it even better. I would have loved it if she pinned Asuka. That would have been even more savage. Asuka and Dakota Kai, that's actually low-key a dream match of mine. I've done that match. That's a rivalry that's been going on in my WWE 2K series for a long-ass time, actually. And honestly, for most of this match, I was disappointed by the lack of seeing Asuka and Dakota Kai face off. But we did eventually get that, like, near the end. We saw them fight off quite a bit, and honestly, it was exactly how it was in my WWE 2K series. I'm not even joking. And that was so awesome to see. I'm just happy that my woman, Dakota Kai, is champion again. And, you know, I was happy for Asuka, because, you know, I have the biggest crush on her as well. Being a champion again. But, I hated that Dakota lost. You know, but, yeah, that's really all I cared about in this match. I was happy that they won the titles back, so yeah. Next match, we have the Steel Cage match. Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre. This was a pretty good match, actually. This was by far my favorite match of the night up to this point. There was this really awesome moment when Drew was in the Trio Woe in the corner. And Karrion Kross was about to do, like, that kick thing, you know, when someone else is in the Trio Woe. But Drew kind of got up and, like, freaking belly him while he was still in the Trio Woe. If you watched the pay-per-view, you know what I'm talking about. And then he kind of did, like, a handstand thing for a few seconds. That was cool. And then Drew McIntyre was about to leave the cage. Freaking Scarlet pepper sprayed Drew just like at Clash at the Castle or Extreme Rules, whenever that was. My mind still perceives Clash at the Castle as the most recent pay-per-view. You know what I mean? That was better than Extreme Rules anyway. But, and it looked like the same thing was going to happen like at Extreme Rules. And then, Scarlett freaking locked the cage again when Drew was getting the upper hand. And she was like, "You can't win, Drew." And then Drew climbed the cage instead. And then freaking Scarlett was like opening the cage door again when Karrion Kross was about to get out. And they were right there. And Drew just beats Karrion Kross to the outside. Oh, man. Cool match. Very glad Drew won. And, yeah. But, yeah. Next match, the Judgment Day, consisting of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominik Mysterio versus the OC, consisting of AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Karl Anderson. I pretty much skipped this match, if I'm being honest, because 6-man tags honestly bore the piss out of me. I did watch a few minutes of it, and the Judgment Day won. Whatever, I don't care. Yeah, I'm being honest, like, 6-man tags really do bore the piss out of me. So I just skipped this. Next match, we have Braun Strowman versus Omos. This match cracked me up, to be honest. Omos' voice, just the way he sounds when he talks, I know that's just how he is, and, you know, I'm not trying to insult him or anything, you know, but the way he talks just cracks me up, man. Like if you hear, he was talking to Braun, like, a whole bunch of times during this match, like, yeah, you think you can beat me, or whatever it was he said. I don't remember exactly, but him talking cracked me up. I mean, the commentators mentioned it themselves, that it's usually Braun. It's always been Braun who has been oversizing and overpowering his opponents. And it was the other way around this time, of course, it's between two giant-ass dudes. But, Omos was the bigger guy this time. But the ending to this match also cracked me up. You know, Omos had the advantage for most of this match, to be honest. And then, right at the end, Braun just power slams him, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. So that ending cracked me up, man. But yeah. Yeah. Anyway, next match, Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. The Usos defending against the Brawling Brutes, consisting of Ridge Holland and Butch. You know that hand elbow thing that Butch does in his matches? Well, they did that to the Usos for Sheamus. I don't know what that means. They said they're doing that for Sheamus. I don't know if something happened on SmackDown or whatever, but they did that for Sheamus. There was this crack-up moment in the match when one of the Usos tried to super kick Butch, like, as he was diving off, but he was still up there when he did the kick. That was crack-up. And then Butch did a really badass diving moonsault onto Uso. And after that, I just skipped the rest of this match because I know the Usos retain. And I was like, who cares, man? But those moments were pretty crack up to mention. Next up, now these last two matches, the show really got going. Last woman standing match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair defending against Bayley. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably my second favorite match between these two behind Hell in a Cell 2021, which, let's be real, because I was there, will never be top for me. Man, this is what I want out of last person standing and false count anywhere time matches, man. I want them to just fight everywhere. Seriously. That's exactly what this was. This was so much fun. This was everything I would want in a last person standing match. This is honestly the type of match that I do in my WWE 2K series. Not even joking. Steel steps. Oh, there was this crack-up moment when Bianca Belair was trapped by Bayley inside the steel steps. And then you see Bianca Belair's head, like, come and get out. That was crack-up. Bayley feigned an injury to, and yes, I'm reading off of my notes on the phone. Bayley feigned an injury, and she actually used, like, the ramp door, like, the, where the crowd is, like, the steel pillar things, like, she used that to kind of open it up and use it against Bayley. I didn't even know that could do that. There was this really cool moment when they were fighting all over the stage, and there was this equipment box, and then Bianca Belair was trapped in there for a bit, and I was like, Bayley, you should start putting a whole bunch of, I mean, I know there's probably not too much stuff within reach, but you could try, like, putting a whole bunch of stuff on top of that equipment case. Then you could easily just keep Belair in there until you win the title. Like, alright, and then there was this crack-up moment with the golf cart. I saw screenshots of this moment, like, before, like, I actually watched the match myself. But, like, Bayley got on the golf cart. She was driving towards Belair to, like, knock her over, to run her over. And it was such a slow-ass golf cart. My mom actually saw that, and she was like, oh, that's like Austin Powers. Yeah, like that screaming guy who could have easily moved out of the way. And then Bianca Belair fought her for a bit. And she put Bayley on top of the golf cart and freaking drove down the ramp. That was gold. That was genius, man. And it was such a weird, like, because it was so slow, you know. But that was like, and then she pushed Bayley off the top of the golf cart, and then oh man, Bayley hit like the edge of the table. Like, dang, that was wow, you know. And then Bianca Belair just powerbombed her through the table right after, and yeah, but she still got up. And then Bianca Belair did the KOD to Bayley on the chair, which was badass. And then she proceeded to trap Bayley in the ladder, in a ladder, and then moved it, and then pushed the ladder with her in it to the corner so she couldn't escape. And Bianca Belair retains the Women's Championship like that. And I think it's safe to say, and I mean this wholeheartedly in a good way, Bianca Belair might honestly be the female John Cena. I mean, her finisher is pretty much a reverse attitude adjustment, and she ripped off the ending to Extreme Rules 2010, the last man standing with Batista and John Cena, when Cena taped Batista's legs to the thing, except she did it with the ladder. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like I said, I'm not mad about that. And it's weird that Bianca Belair also did that to who people before considered the female John Cena. Just something I want to point out. I haven't seen anyone else point out the Extreme Rules 2010-esque ending yet. Besides myself, obviously, but yeah. And now we're going to the main event. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns defending against Logan Paul. I was very excited for this. Awesome match. Honestly, it was what I expected. Logan Paul really held his own here. Perhaps quite a few moves of his were repetitive. But then again, I probably might have been the same if I was a wrestler. Just a great match. Just them doing their thing, really showing off their chemistry with each other. And then, eventually, the frickin' Usos came out, not to, like, cheat or anything. They were trying to check on Roman after Logan Paul frickin' elbow dropped him through the table. That was awesome then. And then Logan Paul's friends were, like, at ringside. And then the Usos kind of got in a fight with them. And then Jake Paul comes out to confront the Usos, knocks them both out. And then Logan Paul dives to the outside onto the Usos. And then, I might have said the order of these things happening wrong, admittedly. And then Solo Sikoa came out to confront Jake Paul. I don't remember what happened between them. But then Logan Paul, again, really held his own in this match. If I had watched it live, I probably would have believed for a teeny split second that Logan Paul might have got the win. But once Logan Paul gets in the ring, Superman punch from Reigns, spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns defeats Logan Paul. And that was such an awesome main event. Loved it. Yeah, that was Crown Jewel 2022. I'm very happy to have gotten this review over and done with. Once again, rest in peace to Aaron Carter. And yeah. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm your boy Mark. And yeah. I'll see you later. Peace out, y'all.